cuties, besties, and ghosties. This is Muertera. Welcome back to my channel, Muertero, or if you're new, welcome. I'm so excited to have all of you here. Today we're going to be asking spirit questions about your love life. So this reading is specifically for singles, and we are going to be asking spirit an honest view of why you're single and what you can do about it. So we're going to start out with oracles. We will be asking just kind of for a quick overview, like what are you killing it at? What are kind of like areas that maybe you can work on? And hopefully those will unblock like your ability to create love in your life. I mean, we're going to be asking about romantic love in particular, but love is love. And so working on these energies in your life is also going to open up your life for all kinds of love, whether that's improving family relationships or creating stronger friendships, or romantic love. All of these skills kind of contribute to your life holistically. So I am really excited to do this reading. If you want more readings like this, definitely like, comment, subscribe. That helps me know that y'all like this and want to see more. But above all, I'm just really grateful to have you here. It is so cool to see this channel growing, and I'm so grateful to you. If you've subscribed, commented, left me a little note, I read all of them and I try to respond to all of them as well. So thank you for being here. For those of you who have never done a pick a pile reading before, we're going to have a pick a pile section where I will talk about the decks and then also the crystals that I have on them. We'll play a singing bowl, and then all of the timestamps are linked down in the description. So if at any time you want to hop down there, you are free to do so. For those of you who aren't hanging around for the pick a pile and you've already picked your pile, I will see you in your reading. Otherwise, I will see you in the pick a pile section. Okay, bye. Hi cuties, welcome to your pick a pile section. So we're gonna get right into it. The first pile is the Santa Muerte Tarot, one of my new favorite decks, and we have a piece of turquoise. And turquoise is really great for connecting to your spirit guides and is also extremely grounding stone. If you have Native American ancestors, this could also be kind of a connection for you as well. Or if you're just a December baby like me, turquoise could be your jam. The second pile we have is the Rainbow Heart Tarot, and we have a piece of rose quartz. Really great stone for connecting clearly to your heart chakra, for clear messages, clear communication around love. And then we have our third pile, which is the Mysterious Forest Tarot, and we have a piece of crystal quartz, clear quartz. So quartz is, again, really great for communication, really great for getting clarity in your life, and it is a very clearing and cleansing stone. So definitely one of my favorites. Okay. Okay friends, hopefully you've had enough time to choose a pile. So click down in the descriptions if you haven't already, and I will see you in your reading. Bye! Hi, pile one. If you chose this little turquoise crystal and the Santa Muerte Tarot, this is your reading. I'm going to put this off to the side. I also realized I didn't really talk too much about the actual reading breakdown. I just got so excited about talking about love. So I have some pre-shuffled oracles that I'm going to lay out. We're going to talk about things that you have mastered when it comes to love, things that are kind of like aspects of your life that are always in flux when it comes to love, and then also aspects that you are working on mastering. Then we'll dig into tarot and ask some clarifying questions, and we'll wrap up with advice. So for some of your central energy, this is just kind of like the energy that is you. We have Lilith, reclaim your power, and we have creative power. So right off the bat, when I shuffled these, I was like, damn. You got some power and it could go both ways. And I think like you'll see the cards that I pulled out. I'm kind of pumped for this pile. So as something that you have mastered, we have the Pilgrim in reverse, and we have the Venom in reverse as well. As something in an aspect of your life that you are working on when it comes to love, we have the Siren in reverse. We have the Heart Eater, the Weight of Truth. I am intuitive. And then we have, I knew exactly what I was doing. I wish I had treated you better. And I hide behind material things. Okay, pile one. I'm kind of obsessed with your energy a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. and maybe it's because I see like a little bit of myself in this as well. I think that you are an extremely strong person, and I feel like there are unfair things that have happened to you in your life. I don't think that you've always had the type of support that you craved or needed. I feel like your self-perception is almost like a little bit skewed. And it's skewed in the sense that I think like when you were younger or growing up, I feel like your reaction to maybe like an external environment not being as supportive as you needed, or not getting the right type of support, I feel like, you know, like when we're kids, we don't know how to process or like express our emotions unless somebody really teaches us how to do that. And I feel like you have the tendency to almost like waver between light and dark. I feel like you're the type of personality that like really like sees the highs and sees the lows. But I feel like there was like a little bit of imbalance there. And I think when things got tough or they didn't work out, I feel like there was like external pressure put on you from the outside, and it made you develop this like this tendency to punish yourself, is like what I'm feeling. And you are extremely powerful, and I think like you have two cards that talk about power here, and when we look at the top cards as well, like these are the most like some of the most like darker but powerful cards in this archetype stack as well. I think that you have a very, very strong intuition as well, and you see a lot of truths that other people are uncomfortable with. And I think in the past, you have not been in an environment where that truth was welcome, or like maybe you were punished for speaking that truth. And instead of celebrating your gift or seeing that it's a blessing to speak truth to power or to bring clarity to situations, I think you were in an environment that taught you that it was almost dangerous to do that. Um, and I feel like you are learning how to harness that power and how to take back that power and how to like channel it into positive things in your life as opposed to taking it and taking that disappointment and internalizing it and taking it out on yourself. Over here we have the pilgrim. Like the pilgrim is on two types of journeys. The pilgrim can be on an external journey, or the pilgrim can be on an internal journey. And I think what you have like recently mastered, or what is really serving you in searching for love, is doing this internal work, this internal self-love, this development of a relationship with self, um, and self-trust in particular. Um, the Venom talks about, like sometimes we can be venomous for good reasons, and sometimes we can be venomous for destructive reasons. Like venom is not necessarily always a dangerous thing. Sometimes you need to stand up for yourself. Sometimes you need to, tell somebody no. You can't just internalize everything that's around you and punish yourself for it. And I feel like you're really learning to treasure yourself. You're learning to step into your power and have self-confidence and be like, no, like I see like Lilith is almost like pushing her chin up. Like, no, you must look up. Like, like I don't need to look down at my feet anymore. I can walk with my head held high, knowing that I'm cradled by the universe, knowing that I am a beautiful person, and the experiences that I've had have only made me more compassionate and more empathetic. That's kind of how I see what you're mastering right now. What I think that you're still working on is I still think you have some tendencies to punish yourself a bit. And I feel like while you are becoming aware of how sometimes you are your own worst enemy, I feel like you're somehow avoiding this truth and avoiding actually making all of the changes that you need in order to have like the relationship that you actually want. And with the siren here, like I feel like you have a very, very like alluring and attractive energy to you. And I feel like sometimes you don't use that attractive energy in your best interest. Like, I think that you can sometimes be attracted to partners that aren't actually serving you the way that you like. They're not treating you the way that you want to be treated, because I think that your self-perception is changing so rapidly. But what you're attracting right now isn't catching up as quickly as your personal development, if that makes sense. Like this girl is crying and she has her eyes closed. And we have some cards here, that talk about like maybe prioritizing material concerns or some anxiety. A card talking about, again, truth. Like I knew exactly what I was doing. I feel like you have kind of an understanding that what you're pursuing doesn't really align with you anymore, but you're just not really sure about like what the next step is to take so you can actually find the person that you want. And I think part of what's going on is like your internal world is changing and you are getting more comfortable with being in your power and actually taking that power and creating your life. And I think you're becoming more aware that your internal circumstances will bleed out into your external circumstances. So I also feel like a little bit of almost like uneasiness or like fear, kind of like a desire to fall back into patterns that are a little bit more comfortable. Because the siren can talk about temptation, it can talk about like toxic relationships. It can talk about like the call of partying or the call of alcohol or drugs, or like substances that will really take you out of the weight of this truth. And I think that that's a temptation for a lot of people who have very strong intuitive gifts, especially if you were not encouraged with those gifts when you were younger, or kind of like taught to doubt them. And I feel like this is something that you're becoming more aware of, and it will pass with time. But I do think that like you have a bit of discomfort right now with actually taking full advantage of the power that you have in changing your external environment. Like I really feel like there's some divide here where you're willing to kind of like dig deep and go really deep within yourself and do the shadow work and figure out who you are and embrace those light and dark attributes. But when it comes to your external reality, there seems to be like some hesitation in truly letting go of the things that are no longer serving you. And I think that's like the biggest divide here that I'm seeing. You're a wonderful and beautiful person. And I think that you have outgrown a lot of people and a lot of things in your life. And one of the biggest things that's blocking love right now is just stepping outside of that comfort zone and aligning your external reality with the changes that you've found internally. Because I do think that like, there's blood at the bottom of Lilith's skirt. Like I feel like you have fought really hard to get to where you are right now. And you're just like, you just need to kind of like get over the top of that mountain to actually be able to implement that in your life. Okay, this is what I'm seeing here. If this sounds like you, definitely you're reading. If it doesn't, then I would say that, pick another pile or a different reading. If this isn't resonating, but we are going to move on to tarot and ask a few more questions. I think I want to ask for you. I didn't really like go into this with a very prescriptive idea of what I was going to ask. But I think I'm going to ask a little bit about like what circumstances in your external world need to change in order for you to really be able to create the life that you're looking for. I have a feeling that there are like maybe some friends that aren't as supportive. Oof, I forgot. These are brand new cards, so the shuffling is going to be a little rough in this pile. Like, I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm really trying to get them to loosen up. Okay, for my pile 1, Spirit. What are the external factors that need to change in pile 1's life in order to create more love? So we have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the 5 of Cups reversed. Is that the 9 of Pentacles or the 6? The 9 of Pentacles. And then we have, the 6 of Pentacles reversed too. Okay. And we have the Tower. Okay. See the bottom of the deck too. I'm just kind of curious. The Hanged Man reversed. Yep. Okay. So this is more like the Hanged Man reverse. I see as more of like the like weight of truth energy. I feel like you do have an understanding of the changes that you need to make in your life. And I think, they're going to be different for everybody. But with the Wheel of Fortune here, I do feel like I'm also noticing here the way that all of these cards came out, like they're like upright, reversed, upright, reversed, upright, reversed. I feel like you are going through cycles and you just kind of keep on spinning your wheels with a lot of things, like, and the universe is giving you signs that they're not really serving you the way that they need to. But I feel like you have been kind of putting blinders up for yourself. Like you're just not really ready to change your life in a way that will bring in the right type of partner. I feel like with this Nine of Pentacles, with this clock that's kind of going back and forth, like I just heard like it's just a matter of time. Like I feel like you're kind of resisting this Tower moment where maybe you're focusing on what you're going to lose when you actually execute what you need to do. Like we have like scythes here as well. And there's a focus on loss, maybe from hurt from the past, like fear. I feel like a lot of like fear and anxiety for what you're going to lose if you make changes. But the Six of Pentacles is also telling me that like there's already something so out of balance in your life that again it's only a matter of time before like the shoe drops and you have to make those changes anyway. Like I feel like there's just like, I feel like a group of people in your life that kind of take from you. And I think it is because you've been through a lot, and I feel like you have a lot of empathy for other people. You're very intuitive. I think you take on, to a certain extent, like burdens for other people that really aren't yours to hold. And when it comes to this Five of Cups, I feel like not only are you like lamenting and like almost devastated about things that have happened in your life, but the weight of the tragedies of other people magnify that for you. And I feel like it's difficult for you to distinguish between your heartbreak and sorrow and other people's, because it seems like they kind of dump on you. And I feel like for you, if you start sitting like quietly in solitude after you hang out with somebody, whether it's friend, family member, somebody that you're potentially going to date, because I could see you almost like, for those of you who have kind of like an on and off again thing, I can see this as well. Like it could be a partner that never commits, that kind of just comes in and out. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Like, but there's just this duality to this Wheel of Fortune, like the light and dark, and it just goes in a circle. I feel like if you sit with yourself quietly after you see anyone in your life, and you listen to yourself and you listen to your intuition and ask yourself the question, like, how do I feel? I feel like that's going to answer a lot of questions for you on who is a person who is going to be along for this next stage of your journey, and who is a person that is just taking from you. Because I feel like when you see somebody who drains you, like in the moment, it might be nice to have somebody around, or you've known this person for a while, or you really care about them. But I think when that moment passes, you just feel extremely drained. And you're just carrying the burdens of so many other people that I think it makes it really difficult for you to let in gentler, more positive people who are actually going to give to you rather than take. Because Spirit is saying like the tower moment is going to come anyway, and you almost get to decide like what degree that tower moment is going to take. Like, I mean, Spirit does not want you to feel like this. Like, Spirit wants you to be Lilith. They want you to be powerful as fuck. They want you to walk into a room and be like, I own this damn place. I own this damn block. I own this damn city. Like, I run this shit. And I feel like other people put so much on you that they almost like run your life in a way. And it's detracting from your ability to create like really stable love. Like, we don't have any cups cards here. And the Nine of Pentacles is such like a beautiful, independent, prosperous energy. And I feel like these people, like, you may have a really like dope career, like, or you have like passion projects that you work on, but these people are like sucking the life out of you. So when it comes to actually like making new friendships with people who are more positive and will treat you better, you're just drained at that point. And when you're drained, those people, like, it's an energy transfer. Like attracts like. So if you're drained all the time, you are going to attract people who are going to drain you. If you have your cup full and you're joyous and you're happy, like, and don't get me wrong, you're not going to be like that all the time, right? Like, friendship is about give and take. But when you can cultivate more of that in your life, you will attract more of that in your life in these relationships. And Spirit's saying, like, you have a choice to kind of slowly start taking action and cutting these people out bit by bit, or they're going to put something in your path that will make you do it. And it's only a matter of time because they don't like this energy. Like, they want you to do better and be happy. Like, that's what your guides are here for. So I think this is all I have. I don't even think I need to like pull more cards. This is pretty straight up. I am gonna pull a piece of advice for you though. And this is from the African Gods Oracle. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Spirit, what advice do you have for our beautiful pile ones? Okay, we have two. Okay, so we have Osa, fire and passion run through your veins, and Oshe, the shine of gold fascinates but also dazzles. So this is like more Lilith energy. Like, Spirit wants you to be passionate, to take decisive action, to decide what you want in your life, to decide who you want in your life. Like, you are not required to keep someone in your life. It doesn't matter how long you've known them. It doesn't matter how much you love them. If they are not right for you and for your energy and for the person that you are becoming, you have every right to let them go with love. Like, this does not have to be a traumatic event, right? That traumatic event will come if you don't take action. Like, Spirit is saying that. You know, you can only keep your blinders on for so long. You're coming to this realization. But you can absolutely let them go with love. And when you let go of ties that drain you, you are going to have so much more energy to put time into building connections that are really going to serve you, not just now, but in the future, and where you're actually going to get some real reciprocity. Because what I've seen here is just people who just come to you and come to you and come to you and take and take and take, but never actually give you anything. And I feel like you have been beyond patient with these people. Beyond. But like love can only do so much. And then we have the shine of gold fascinates, but also dazzles. Like this is more of the siren energy. Like you can only be distracted by these things for so long before you're gonna have your illumination. And it's a blessing and a curse. Like there might be, you also had, I hide behind material things. Like there might be a reason why you have these people in your life. Maybe you go on like cool trips together, or you're always taking pictures for Instagram. Like I feel like I just saw like somebody with like a really dope like feed, like Instagram feed with a friend group where you're always doing really cool things, and from the outside like it looks like a perfect environment and a perfect life, but from the inside these people are deeply troubled and are just dragging you down. And so this is a warning here. Like you're on a spiritual journey, you're going within and you're learning to be so much kinder to yourself, and that is such a beautiful energy. Don't let external material things blind you. If someone does not love you as much as you love you, you have to make a decision. Either you're going to accept poor treatment or you're going to let them go. And if you set those boundaries, some people will stay. Not everybody, but it's their choice. You might be surprised. So this is all I have for you. This was really beautiful. I'm telling you, I'm obsessed with your energy. I want you to check in with me in like 6 months and tell me how you're doing because you're literally like at the precipice. Like it is only a matter of time before these changes come to pass. And once you open up your life to attract more love into it, and once you cultivate more loving relationships, you're going to find a loving partnership. Like that's just the way that it works. This is the only thing that's holding you back right now. Like I actually do really feel that. I'm not just like gassing you up right now. Like I really do feel that this like journey of self-love is what needed to happen in order to open that door. Like I'm also thinking like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, or the Magicians, where they like open up the door and the clock and it takes you to like a beautiful fantasy world. Like not everything's perfect, but like something like beyond your wildest dreams is behind that door. And I'm getting tingles as I say that. Like it's gonna be beautiful. So thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you being here. I'm so grateful to have you watching my readings, bringing this beautiful energy. Like again, I want to sit in this. Like I'm obsessed with with your energy. Okay, I'm gonna stop now because I could just like say that for hours. But yeah, if you enjoyed this reading, please like, comment, subscribe. And besides that, take care of yourself. Like love yourself as hard as you can. I hope you protect your little heart, and I will see you soon in a reading. Okay, bye. Hi Pile 2s. If you picked this little crystal quartz, rose quartz, oh my gosh, rose quartz, this is your pile and your reading. And the Rainbow Heart Tarot, which I need to just repeat over and over because I always forget what this deck is called. I'm going to move this off to the side. I don't think I really like went through the reading breakdown in great detail in the intro, so I'm going to start with, I just got too excited. Like, I'm going to start with oracles. I've pre-shuffled these for you. We're going to be talking about kind of like the central energy of you and what is coming into balance. We're going to look at things that you have really like done well with and are rocking over here. We're going to talk about things to work on that are blocking love on the right. And then we're going to leave tarot open. I'm going to ask some clarifying questions on like the situation and what you can do to open your life up for love. So Super excited. I think you got a lot of cards. I think Pal 3 did too. So, as your central energy right now, we have True North, stay true to yourself, and Full Moon, harvest the fruits of your hard work. And then we have Great Abundance. So again, like that theme of harvesting. On the left, as kind of like light attributes, let's see, how do these come out? Okay. We have the Bardo, we have the Gem, and then we have the One in reverse. And on the right, we have the Fault Line. Okay. We have Gifts to the Portal, Rainbow Transference, and Calm Within Transformation. I am limitless, and I wish I could share my good news with you. Okay, pile twos. This is some interesting energy. I don't know. I feel like there might be like a couple situations in this pile, but I'm going to start talking and channeling and we can just roll through it. I feel like you have been working hard on yourself. And one of the things that like Spirit is really highlighting is that you've been pretty like trusting and like you've had a lot of faith that this hard work is going to pay off. And I don't know that like everybody around you has had the same understanding that you have. And I think like Spirit really wants to call that out. Like Gifts of the Porter was really like jumping out at me. Basically like talks about hard work where you just like don't know the outcome. And you also have this True North, stay to yourself. I feel like you have made a lot of choices and decisions that maybe at times like you have regretted the trade-offs. But I think you've always trusted that no matter what, like if you stayed true to yourself, you were gonna be okay. And I feel like that like really firm sense of self and sense of direction and clear message to the universe, to other people around you. I think Spirit like really wants to commend you for that strength. Because I do feel like in some cases that has come at a cost. And for some of you, I feel like this may have caused an ending in another relationship, and you're grieving that still a bit. And it took just like a lot of faith for you to keep on moving forward and realize that that was a situation that was actually holding you back instead of helping you move forward. For those of you who did not have an ending, I feel like it has caused you to say no to something that was very important or very tempting in your life. Or you're looking back at the choices that you've made and like, I wish I could share my good news with you. Like you're feeling kind of the absence of a person there. And you're watching a singles reading. So I think that's like goes along with the territory if you're here. But I think there is like a different kind of devastation that comes along with looking back and having chosen yourself every time or, you know, just realizing that the options that you have aren't true to you. And so you don't have that romantic partnership to look back on, to regret or miss. It's kind of like, that's why I feel like there's a little bit of like two different camps in here. Either way, some sort of sacrifice was made. And it was like literally a sacrifice kind of into the abyss because you didn't know. Um, you were putting trust in the universe. And I feel like with the one here in reverse and the Bardo and the gem, I feel like you made this sacrifice because you knew that you were good. Like, you have a strong enough sense of self to step into kind of the void. Like the Bardo is the place kind of, it's like almost like a purgatory, like that space between life and death. And I feel like you were willing to just kind of like sit in that for a while and just kind of like sit in your pure potential and see what happens. Like if I dig deep, if I open up my life, like this almost honestly feels like this is like the next phase from pile one. So like almost like you made your choices in pile one and now this is like you kind of reaping the abundance from it. So if this feels like not quite right to you, but some of it's resonating, you may want to watch pile one first. But Spirit wants to just like emphasize, like, you chose your own limitless power. Like, you chose yourself. You chose to step into that space between life and death with literally, like, you closed a door and you opened a door to the unexpected, to something that you didn't understand. Like, you knew that there was something better out there. And you knew that like you were choosing yourself, and the choice that you made was true to yourself. But it came with almost, I don't want to say a lot of fear, because I feel like you've accepted that you don't know the outcome. But it comes with trade-offs. Like, it takes a lot of strength to be able to do that. And you are now in a position where you can create the abundance in your life that you're really looking for, especially when it comes to love. So what you're struggling with now is kind of like a really like interesting energy, honestly. So we have rainbow transference, and rainbow transference talks about like shining your light and bringing other people along with you, and kind of like showing up in that energy of limitless possibility, but spreading it to people around you. And then we have calm within transformation, which kind of is just like calm within transformation. I feel like you have like a little bit of manic energy right now, I'm not gonna lie. Like, where, okay, so like you've stepped into the unknown. You know that you've been working really hard on something. You know that like opportunities are coming up for you. What I think you're really struggling with is like still kind of like, I want to say like focusing that abundant energy within yourself. And I feel like you want to share this transformative energy with the world. But really, I think like the best thing for you to do right now is to focus on yourself. Because I think when it comes to external relationships, I think when you, how do I explain this? Like, when you try to share that spirit of self-improvement and self-work with others very directly, it shines too bright of a light on things in their life that they don't want to look at yet. And you might be able to see it because you've gone through this transformation, but they're not ready to. And I think part of being able to like create the life that you want right now and bring in the relationship that you want is really keeping that power for yourself. And it's not being selfish. Like, you've got rainbow transference and calm within transformation. Like, these are very like bright, beautiful cards. But I feel like your exuberance is almost too blinding for people right now. And it's interesting because we have 21 and 12. I was just said 21 and 1 too. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But there's a little bit of like a mirroring aspect to this. Like, you're holding up a mirror to other people, and they're just not, they're not in a receptive energy. Because think about how many times people told you that something in your life wasn't working and you didn't do shit about it. Like, this is just human nature. Like, you probably didn't, right? Like, it was only until you took a look at your life or something became uncomfortable and you made a decision and you said, okay, this, I want to change. The best thing that you can do right now is take your energy and continue to work on yourself. The people who are around you are going to see that light, and they're going to start changing as well, of their own accord, on their own timeline. Like, I kind of see like the fault line as a timeline as well. And I feel like you're almost pushing a little bit too hard on their own internal timeline. And it becomes overwhelming for people. And I feel like once you like really like ease into it and really like learn to just kind of flow, your light is going to shine so bright that people are going to be drawn to it like a magnet. And there's also a warning here that when you are shining that bright, pay attention to the red flags. Because the people who are attracted to you, you're going to attract both healed people and unhealed people. And so watch out for those fault lines in people as well. And listen to what they like say to you. Like, they're going to share exactly who they are with you. Trust them. When somebody tells you something about themselves, or you see them do something, trust that's them. Like, they're telling you exactly who they are. It's kind of another thing Spirit wants to emphasize. Okay, let's move on to tarot. If this sounds like you, let's get it. If it doesn't quite sound like your energy, you may want to check it out, pile 1 again, or pile 3. Not really sure what's going on in that reading yet, so I have no insight for you. Okay, I'm going to grab some tea too really quick. This is just a very large deck. There we go. Okay. Okay, Spirit. So, what do we want to ask? I want to ask like how you can harness this abundant energy in the best way to create love in your life and to attract the right kind of people. So exactly that, Spirit. How can pile 2 harness this? Interesting. Okay, so you may want to watch pile 1 because we have the 5 of Cups in reverse in the same exact position. Okay, how can pile 2 harness this energy of abundance? Okay, so Knight of Wands in reverse, we have the 5 of Cups upright, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, and I just heard this is a marathon, not a race. Yeah, and we also have the Knight of Pentacles here again. We had that come out in pile 1 as well. Okay, and then back attack energy is strength. Okay. So again, I mean, with strength, spirit is emphasizing that, like, you got this. You know, I think it is, and this is going to be kind of like a very annoying thing to say right now. Like, it is a matter of patience. I hate saying that. I'm sorry. I hate when people tell me to be patient too. It's like, you know, telling somebody to calm down. Mine's patience. um, I don't get too feisty anymore. But I think you are playing the long game. You have done a ton of self work, and you have really put your trust in in the universe and said, I know that something good is coming for me. And I feel like this has come at a price where, like, you have watched things fall away from your life, but I think the things that have left have been very unstable energies, truly. Like, she's like looking at this like Knight of Wands reversed, and I love this deck, but like in this deck, this dude looks like a dweeb. It's just what I heard in my head. Spirit, you got some sassy spirits, or my sassy spirits are out to play. Like, there have been some inconsistent energies, energies that have taken from you instead of prioritized you, some very selfish behavior from people in your past. And I think Spirit's saying, like, it's okay to mourn those people, but if you focus on trying to heal those people so they can come along for the ride, it's going to impede your ability to move forward. And so they really are saying, like, stay strong and, like, watch out. Like, I heard, like, the wolf in sheep's clothing. Maybe this is like the wolf in a lion's clothing. Like, and it's interesting because, like, in this deck, strength in the lion, it almost looks like the lion is like attacking strength. And in a traditional rider weight, like, she is cradling it. It almost looks like she has the lion in a headlock, which is what I always think when I look at it. It's like supposed to be a calming card, but I've always found it like a little bit like low-key aggressive. This one's like high-key aggressive. So I think there's an emphasis here on, like, you have control of these situations and you have control of the energy that you're putting into other people. And you've worked really hard at your own healing. Like, you're still like the damn Nine of Pentacles, you know? Like, you got it. I think that you don't give yourself enough credit for the fact that, like, you are a baddie. Like, you are beautiful. I feel like you are like a high value person that does not view yourself as a high value person in the way that you fully should. Like, you got cards just full of bounty, and you have like the card of bounty that's come out here as well. And this Knight of Pentacles has like all these like flowers in her hair. Like, it makes me think of this like cartoon I used to watch when I was younger called Lady Lovely Locks, and she had these little ferrets in her hair that were magical. Like, I feel like that's you. But I do feel like you kind of doubt yourself a little bit. Like you're the Nine of Pentacles, but you kind of feel like you're like this like little like dowdy page who, you know, like doesn't know how to do her hair perfectly, or, you know, doesn't have the right clothes, or like, you know, doesn't look the right way or something like that. I just like looking at these two. We have this Nine of Pentacles who's just like, I want to say coiffed. And then we have this Page of Pentacles who doesn't look like she's confident and feeling herself. Like, both gorgeous, but one has confidence and the other one doesn't. And I feel like Spirit really wants you to have that confidence. And we have this rainbow here again. Like, I feel like, again, like, especially if this is linked to pile one. Like pile one had this energy of constantly giving to other people and kind of neglecting themselves because of it. I feel like you have done a lot of inner work to really build up your internal confidence. But I feel like you still have these like little kind of like saving tendencies that are holding you back a bit. And I think again, it's like this is your time to really take the fruits of your labor and harvest them and actually like live like that badass. And if you have like little, I'm trying to say like, you're just like so close, like you're almost there. But I really do feel like it's about building that inner confidence and building that inner fire and really saying like, I am the Nine of Pentacles. Like I have literally everything that a partner could possibly want. So I'm just going to keep my head down and I'm going to keep working. And if I see something that needs to be healed in somebody else, like the best way that I can help them out is to continue healing myself. Like I don't need to put my entire emphasis on like somebody else's lion. Like I need to work on like keeping my own lions in a little headlock. Okay. I'm going to ask too like what action you can take because I feel like these are like pretty passive cards when it comes down to it. And like you're kind of showing up as the Knight of Pentacles, like this like very patient energy that's been working very hard. And I think you've had a lot of payoff. But I feel like, yeah, I want to see action. So Spirit, what action can Pile 2 take to really manifest this energy? That was like an immediate response. Okay, we have the Hierophant. Let's take this out. Okay, Ace of Swords, the Moon, the Ace of Pentacles reversed, and then we have the Hierophant. And let's get one more. Just for kicks. And the Ten of Cups. Oh. I feel like you are still dealing with this kind of like underlying like fear of loneliness. Like the Moon can talk about like emotions, hopes, and fears, but next to the Ace of Pentacles here, like there is a fear that, and this is a pomegranate, like remember like Hades brought Persephone down to the underworld and she like desperately missed her family and she ended up eating like 3 pomegranate seeds and she was separated from her family for part of the year. And then that's how winter came about. And there's kind of like a message in there as well about, again, like a bountiful harvest. Like flowers used to bloom, plants would grow. Like there was no winter before Persephone went down to the underworld. And then because she ate those little seeds, like then we had seasons because I forget her mom's name, but her mom is in charge of like crops and nature, I guess. Like, but I feel like that fear of loneliness is here. Like there's a fear that like this winter is going to last forever. And there's also a call for you to get really clear about what you want, like both internally and externally. Whether you need to speak this out loud, whether you need to write down a list, like whatever you need to do to actually like solidify in your mind and in your life. These are my values. This is what I will accept from people. Like these are the types of connections that I want. Because I feel like it's the fear of being alone that is really keeping you looking back at other people and trying to get them to come with you, as opposed to looking out and attracting things to yourself. And I feel like if you can really get clear with yourself and tackle those fears and stop trying to like give your light to other people, just be light, then kind of the traditional path that you're looking for is going to follow. We have the Hierophant and we have the Ten of Cups. And the Hierophant can mean a lot of things. Sometimes it can mean like traditional marriage. Like we have it next to the Ten of Cups. We have these like two partners there. I feel like that's really what's holding you back right now, is this kind of tendency to look back and focus on other people. Because I get it, like when you start making changes and you feel better and you see people that you care about around you and you look at them and you're like, if you just did X, Y, or Z, like you'd be so much happier. But it actually causes like some tension, and not everybody is ready and willing to take that advice. So like Spirit's saying it's better for you to focus on yourself and use that energy to like harvest your own bounty. You're kind of in summer right now. Like you have a lot of energy and a lot of spiritual light around you, whether you realize it or not, and you are an attractive force for what you're looking for. You just really have to own it. Like own it. Be the Knight of Pentacles. So this is what I have for you. I'm going to grab like 2 pieces of advice really quickly because I've been chatting a lot. Okay, Spirit, what advice do you have for Palo 2? Okay, that is just, how many is that? That's too many. I'm going to take this one. Okay. So we had a cruel truth is better than the sweetest lie. Yeah, you might want to watch Pile 1. It's just like, there's a tendency in Pile 1 to kind of ignore the truth of situations. And I do feel like the cruel truth here, honestly, is that you are expending energy on people that are not going to be able to move forward with you. And some people will, but they have to make that decision themselves. And I think you are kind of like faced with a decision where you can continue to put energy into things that you know have red flags, or you know aren't really matching your energy and your vibe anymore. But what that's going to end up doing is just impeding your progress for moving forward. It's going to create a lot of fear and anxiety in your life. And you were so close. Like, you've put so much time and effort into clearing those types of energies from your life. You're getting there. Like, you're almost there. But it's almost like jumping off a cliff. But no, like, you got the rainbow bridge. Like, the rainbows are here to catch you. You're not going to make any, like, wrong decisions. Your life isn't going to blow up if you decide that, like, old toxic friends or relationships or, you know, a partner coming in and out who's never committing isn't for you anymore. just reminded me of the Cascade song, like, don't be fooled by your emptiness. That's so much more room for happiness. Like, don't be afraid to cut those people off, because this is what it's opening up for you. Like, this is what it's all in service of. So yeah, I think the best thing to do, honestly, make a list and look at that list every day and decide, like, are the people in my life serving who I am, my value system, who I want to be, where I want to go, what I want to cultivate in my life? Yes or no, and then act accordingly. Okay. You're going to get there. I'm really excited for you. Like, you're so close. And this is going to honestly open up beautiful friendships, like a beautiful relationship, so many things in your life. Like, you got this, okay? I'm sending you so much love right now. I hope this was helpful. If this resonated, please like, comment, subscribe. I'm just so grateful to have you here and really stoked. Like, I don't know. I feel like there was so many like harvesting metaphors in this file, and I'm digging it. So yeah, above all, protect your little heart, and I hope I will see you again in another reading. Okay, bye. Hi, Pile Threes. If you picked this little quartz crystal and the Mysterious Forest Tarot, this is your reading. We're going to pull those off to the side right now. I have some oracles pre-shuffled. We are going to talk about your kind of central energy, where you're at right now. On the left, we'll talk about things that you've really been working on that are serving you in your search for love. On the right, we're going to talk about things that you're kind of still working through and are blocking your love journey a little bit. So let's get into it. We have cast a circle. Healthy boundaries are crucial for growth. And then we have determination and nourishment. I think those were determination and nourishment, like that. It feels better. And then we have the mother on the left and gnosis on the right. And then we have no one is yours but you and mysterious mother. And then we have inside looking out, visions, and cosmic exploration. On the left, we have I am courageous. On the right, I replay our conversations over and over. So I think, it's pretty obvious you've been working on boundaries, which I think is really amazing. I feel like you have been working like very diligently at this. Determination in this deck is a card just about like diligence. It's like weeding a garden. You have to constantly reinforce those boundaries over and over until people, like, it clicks with them. And I feel like you have done this in a gentle way. But it's been very, very consistent. Like, we have no one is yours but you and mysterious mother. And then we also have the mother over here. And I feel like you're really being protected by spirit right now. Like, this mysterious mother looks just like determination. Like, if you look at the coloring, it's kind of trippy. I love when decks look like each other. It makes me so happy. But I feel like you're like really focusing on self-care right now. And it isn't just like, oh, I'm going to do a bunch of face masks and like buy myself a jade roller or something like that. It's like, no, I am truly going to nourish myself. I'm going to make sure that like the flower in me can bloom. I'm going to make sure that I'm feeding myself well, that I'm getting the spiritual nourishment that I need. Like, there's a lot of like really beautiful self-nourishing energy in this pile. And yeah, like, I'm courageous. Also, I'm just like reading it because I'm not getting courageous from this, but it says like you have a higher purpose in this life that is yours and yours only to fulfill. unleash your true power. Like, I feel like it's taking courage, but it's also a recognition for yourself that there is something profoundly beautiful within you that is yours and yours alone. Like, no one owns you. You get to make these decisions for yourself. And it has been a sacrifice and also an act of self-love for you to like learn how to protect yourself and to value yourself like this. I do think that in creating these boundaries, I feel like you feel a little split about it. Like, Gnosis is about the spiritual esoteric journey. And having that in your blockage here, I feel like you're having a hard time like truly accepting the changes in your life. And I don't want to say like resenting them a bit, but I think that they have come at a cost. And I feel like while creating a lot of these boundaries, you have lost a lot of things. But I feel like there is like almost like a too heavy of a self-protective energy around you right now. Like, you have gotten so used to taking care of yourself and so used to keeping people out that it's been really hard for you to let people in. And I feel like you needed that like self-mothering and protective energy for a while. But it's gotten a little bit comfortable for you. And I think it's very comfortable for you to kind of like sit in your daydreams and think about the life that you want to live, as opposed to going out and really trying to create that life. And Spirit wants you to know, like, I'm almost like tearing up right now. Like, Spirit wants you to know that you are so supported. Like, the mysterious mother is literally the universe saying, like, we've got your back. What you want is going to come to pass, and you're protected. And I feel like you have done like a phenomenal job at protecting yourself and enforcing boundaries and creating this internal healthiness for yourself. And Spirit wants you to like almost release that burden in a way. They can't guarantee that you're not going to get hurt again. Like, that's a part of life, you know, like you open yourself up and sometimes people don't take it, like they take advantage or don't treat you in the way that you deserve. But I think you're just in a very different environment and a different mindset and a different person than you were before. And they want you to know that you're not going to have those same experiences because you are so very different now. And you can trust yourself to be able to discern between somebody who makes a mistake and somebody who's going to be dangerous. Like, you have that capacity. You've really built that up within yourself. And if you take the love that you've built for yourself and extend that out to other people, there are people who are going to meet that and match that. Like, your growth is a blessing. It's not something that should be hindering you. And I know that's easier said than done. I know. But they want you to know, like, it's safe for you to open yourself up. Like, the past is the past. And these, like, I feel like you kind of daydream a lot about like what you want. You think about kind of what's happened in the past, but I feel like these daydreams are more about the future. But there is anxiety about the past here as well. And Spirit is saying like the future is going to be more beautiful than you could even imagine in your head. Like, the path ahead of you isn't something that you can anticipate. It's not something that you can plan ahead for. Like I feel like you're almost in like a bit of analysis paralysis is kind of like what I'm feeling. And I feel like this enforcing of boundaries and like this determination has also like given you a lot of control over your life and what happens and what you accept and what you don't. But the next stage of your life is really about you trusting and letting go of that control and realizing that like you have spent all of this time working on yourself and creating a more healthy environment for yourself, and now it's time for you to actually like relax and enjoy it. I feel like you're not relaxing. I want you to relax. The spirit does too. Like I almost have this like clenching in my jaw and like pit in my stomach. Like I feel like there's a lot of fear wrapped up in the next step, not actually living up to your ideal or you replicating old patterns that you have before. And spirit is really, really, really saying like you are different, therefore like the next stage will be different and you can trust in us. Okay, team. So if this sounds like you, this is your heads up. We're going to move to tarot. If it does not sound like you, you can choose pile 1 or 3. Wait, no, we're in 3. Pile 1 or 3. Oh my gosh. You can choose pile 1 or 2. Sometimes my brain just like goes to mush by the 3rd pile. I'm sorry, pile 3. I love you so much. You might struggle with a bit of like perfectionism as well, because I definitely like just have a mini meltdown in my brain about like saying the wrong piles. And it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's like that dog that has the flames by it. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, so what are we going to ask? Ooh, ooh. I want to see you in a bit more trusting of an energy. I feel like this like self-protective energy has gone on a bit too long for you. So let's ask Spirit, like what you can do, what attitude you can have, what you can welcome into your life in order to create a bit more trust and be able to let go of control, and have some fun. I do love this deck because cards always fly out of it. It makes me happy. Okay, we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. We have the Hierophant in reverse. The Three of Wands and the Devil. And we have the Page of Cups in reverse as well. Okay. I do feel like, let's look at the back of the deck. Page of Wands in reverse. So everything in this spread is in reverse except for the Three of Wands, which I think makes sense. Because you do have this energy of like kind of like sitting and waiting and watching, and like there's not a lot of action. And for some of you, like with the Hierophant and the Devil on both sides, like I feel like there's kind of like two groups here. For some of you, like you may be creating too much structure in your life to where like you cannot, like there's not enough like surprise or interest or chances for you to really explore and have fun. Like I'm getting kind of like a feeling your life may be a bit like wake up, eat breakfast at 6 a.m., go to the gym, go to work, come home, grocery shop, watch a half an hour of TV, go to bed, rinse, repeat. Like, it just seems like there's like far too much structure and just not enough joy. Like on the two ends we have the Knight of Wands and we have the Page of Cups, and they're in reverse. Like the Knight of Wands is like a rambunctious energy. You know, it's spontaneity, it's fun, it's exciting. I feel like you don't have enough fun and excitement. And the Page of Cups is hope, healing, potential for love. Like if you don't go out and meet people, the right person isn't just gonna like show up at your doorstep and be there. Like we also have the devil here, and the devil can talk a lot about control as well. I'm gonna say this, I don't think it applies to all of you, but I do think that for some of you, like alcohol may play a point in this, or maybe like smoking too much weed. Like you come home from work and you just kind of get stoned and sit on the couch. Like it's kind of like that vibe where there's not enough fresh energy coming in order for you to be able to be in an environment where you can open yourself up to a new opportunity. Like it just seems like all the doors are closed. And also like the Page of Wands is in reverse here too, and that's like all about adventure. Like, friend, you need an adventure. You need new experiences. You need to put yourself out there. And I know this is really hard. Like it feels like you have been in this protective energy for a really long time and have gotten very, very, very comfortable with it. And it feels really safe. But the thing is, like, the Three of Wands, that person is just literally waiting there for the ships to come in. Never moves, never goes anywhere. Just like standing on a bluff, waiting. And Spirit is saying, like, you have a choice to make. You can stand here and wait. Or you can take a series of small risks, you know? Like, you don't have to go, I wouldn't recommend going out and doing something crazy, but get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your house. Like, if you're working from home, like, you need to get out of your house. There's definitely, like, a very strong, like, sitting on the couch energy here. I love you, and I'm being very honest with you because I do care. Like, you're not going to meet the partner of your dreams if your life is so regimented that there isn't an opportunity for you to meet another person. You have to go out and you have to actually meet people. I think that's like the very the very core of this. So, I mean, it's going to be different for all of you, like places you could go, but like, let's ask like things that you can try out, you know? I know it's hard because like life after lockdown has changed in a lot of ways, and honestly, I just think there are less things that you can go out and do and meet people. And it's very different, like if you've graduated or you moved into a new city, it can be hard. So let's see if Tarot like has any, Spirit, do you have any recommendations for, well, oh, lots of recommendations. Okay. So 5 of Wands, 2 of Cups. Those are both in reverse. We have the 4 of Wands, the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, and like a butt ton more cards. We're gonna stop now. But we have the Chariot, and we have the Empress, and we have the 6 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. Okay, okay. Okay. I feel like what Spirit is saying is literally like you just need to like get up and go. Like there's something out of balance in your world right now that is blocking you from like being in this super abundant reciprocal energy. Like this is the end goal for you. This is the end goal, and like this is like, we need to fix this chariot and get it up and moving. So honestly, I think the biggest blocker still is like a resistance to opening up. Like we have the Five of Wands next to the Two of Cups. Like I did when I shoveled out the Five of Wands, I did hear like, this is not a contact sport. I don't even know what that means, like honestly. But I feel like something like a group activity could be something that potentially like leads to meeting somebody, you know, like we have both the Two of Cups and the Four of Wands here. Like I think Spirit is saying like, you have a potential to meet a partner when you go out, but like when you're doing it, don't necessarily like focus on places where you think you're gonna necessarily find a romantic partner. Focus on something that's gonna create stability and joy for you. This person is like grabbing their toes, so maybe joining like group fitness classes, but ones that are particularly social, like try out a CrossFit gym, do yoga teacher training. That might be a really good way to like meet female friends who could introduce you to their friends, you know, like it's not all about finding a romantic partner. And I think especially for you right now, because I feel like there is this like very like almost like hesitant, closed off energy. I think if you focus too much on doing an activity specifically to find a partner, it's going to trigger your anxiety a bit. I think if you focus on really like taking even small steps to just like, I don't know, like socialize with people, get a better network, create friends, like I think that's going to open the door to meeting a romantic partner. Another thing that you could try is like doing like a team sport like kickball or dodgeball. Like I did kind of like see dodgeball like in my mind's eye when I saw this Five of Wands. I was like, this is like a sport where like people are just like beating on each other. Which like dodgeball, kickball, like both of those could be pretty good, and a lot of those sports leagues like have socialization kind of like built into it, so that's good. I think those would be my recommendations. Like if you like other things and you're not like super into sports, art classes might be something that could be really like fun and rewarding. Honestly, something that's going to get out of your house, that's going to get you out of your house in a different place than you normally go, and out of this overstructured, overplanned life. I feel like you're bored. Like truly, I feel like you're bored and you need more excitement. Like you need to do fun things, and you deserve to do fun things, and you deserve to have excitement. Like you've done so much work on yourself. Like share that with the world. The world wants to see that. Like you're freaking showing up as the Empress here. You have the Empress, the Six of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups. Like when you get out of your comfort zone and element, people are going to be attracted to you because you have healed so much within you, and that's going to glow from the inside out. And you're going to find people that are going to give as much as they take, right? Like it's an equal give and take. And we got the damn Ten of Cups here too. Like this is really beautiful. So tomorrow, figure out what you're going to do. Big Sis says. Okay, let's grab you a card of advice and we will wrap up. Spirit, what is your final advice? Final words. Okay, we have, whoop, is that OD? OD, there's no easy way when pain comes from the heart. And Ika, to avoid reality only makes you face the same issues again and again. Yeah. So this is spirit recognizing that you're kind of like stuck in like a little bit of a loop, right? Like your fear and pain is coming from like a place where it is really safe to sit in your daydreams and not put yourself out there. And that is the hardest type of fear like to overcome, because daydreams are really safe. Like you can control what happens in them. They're painful in a different way because they're never going to become real, but in some way they're very safe. But the thing is, like, you're going to be in pain either way. Like, either you have these daydreams and, like, think about things that could potentially happen and they don't happen, and that's one type of pain. Or you go out and you put yourself out there and you may get some pain, but you also could have this 10 of Cups. And so that's the trade-off that you kind of have to think about. Like, it's doing you no good to not take that risk. Like, you're going to have pain either way. But Spirit is saying, like, they see you and they know that this is hard and they know that you've been through a lot and you've worked really hard. And remember, things happen for you, not to you. Once you've learned those lessons, like really learned them, you can move on. But it's kind of your choice, right? Like, you've learned all these boundaries and things to look out for. So, like, continue to look out for them. But you can trust in yourself. Like, you have worked really hard. You have mastered boundaries. Like, I think, like, over-mastered boundaries. And Ika's talking about avoiding reality. And it makes you face the same issues again and again. Like, again, you're just, like, stuck in this kind of loop. So you're going to get out of this. I know it's hard. It's really hard to take that first step, especially if you've been kind of like avoiding meeting new people and avoiding putting yourself out there. But you are going to be so much happier when you take that step out and get some excitement back in your life. Like, I really want that for you. I really feel like you are missing that. And the world is going to open up and just be so happy and so receptive that you try. Like, it's going to meet you with excitement and the type of opportunities that you're looking for. It just means, like, you might have to try a couple different things before you really hit like your 4 of Wands. Like, you're gonna find an activity and a group of people that are really fulfilling for you. Like, it might be a little bit like trying on, you know, like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. Like, go to some different events, go to some different, like, classes, whatever you want to do. But you're going to find that. It's just a matter of trying. So I'm really excited for you. Let me know how this goes. Check back with me in like a couple months and tell me how you've met a brand new group of friends and have gone on dates, and it's been very exciting. I'm really excited for you. I think, you know, like, your life feels like it's gotten a little bit quiet, and I feel like it is just like right on the cusp of bursting into Technicolor, and it really is just a matter of you putting yourself out there. So I hope you keep your little heart safe. If you resonated with this reading, please like, comment, subscribe. That really helps me grow my channel above all. I guess I already said keep your little heart safe. Oh my gosh! I'm having a moment today, but honestly, I'm just really grateful you're here. This was beautiful energy, and I hope you come and see me again soon. Okay?